Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, and we're going to talk about Arbor Adventures. And we're in session 9 at this point. And at this point, the Doulos is in Neverwinter, and he is staying with Tiefling Garnet merchant from Neverwinter, Jesp. And he knows Jesp because when the when the human woodcutters used a river to flood the garnet mines, and 54 dwarves died, they escaped from a magical portal from Phandalin garnet mine all the way to Neverwinter, this Neverwinter merchant, right? So at this point, Doulos is with Erosarn, and Erosarn is the third daughter of the Elven Enclave, Galena, right? And she's come to Neverwinter. She's come to Neverwinter to set out to Mount Hotenau to meet with Forge Lord Shram of the Mount Hotenau Dwarven Miners, right? And she's been sent there by her enclave, right? So Doulos hosted her with Jesp. So Jesp has extended all hospitality to Doulos, and he owes Doulos, right? Doulos actually has allowed him to continue business even in the middle of a war, right? And while staying at Jesp's house, now Doulos actually realizes that Jesp is fully aiding the Dwarven miners. He's fully aiding the Dwarven miners in the war, and he's using that teleportation circle to send in gold, to send in weapons, to send in food, and it does look like Jesp is supplying a lot of this, but it's not just Jesp. There's clearly, like, it's people in Neverwinter are helping the dwarves on purpose, and Jesp's home has become a subtle, like, stage, almost like a base, right, to stage provisions to the dwarven miners, right? And so Doulos realizes this while he's and the reason why he realizes this is Erosarn is received by Jesp. That goes extremely well. She's a noble. He's a merchant. They get along great, right? Like, they both speak the same language, right? Money, like gold pieces, platinum pieces, fine magic items, swag, silver wine, art, gold, right? Like they both speak the same language, wealth, right? So they get along famously. And Erosarn said, when she arrived, she said, I'm ragged from this boat trip, but what I want to do is, but that's okay. I'm going to take 48 hours, right? And so she does. She just relaxes. Now, Doulos has a lot to do. He has hero points to spend, and this is a big part of, this is such a huge part, and why I really love Crown and Skull. And my Gold Dragon Master is using these points extremely well, right? So he gets an extra attack on his companion, Oe, this direwolf Oe. So now Oe does not have to roll. When he attacks someone, he simply hits exactly like his master, no to hit roll, and he gets D6 claw, right? And that position, and so Doulos buys D6 claw for 10 hero points, right? And then in addition to that, he's now positioned to get the final attack for Oe, which is going to be claw bite, right? And that, so like when he's mounted, Oe's doing claw bite, he's doing an attack with Thove. There's really not a lot of non-player characters that live past second round with Doulos, right? Really fascinating. So, and then the other thing he does is he has access to the skull magic items and the skull skills. Now, the way we're doing this is we have switched over to using the dungeon. We do not use the Crown and Skull skill list, we use the way that you roll under the amount of the skill that you have, and then you just buy your number up, and then you have to roll under with that skill. But we switched back to the Dungeons and Dragons skill list. So what he does with his other 10 points is he actually buys a ring of cold iron. And what this does is it makes all undead fear him, like terror, like really, really fear him, right? And the reason why he purchased it was that he had to scamper away. He had to like skitter away from the mirror of dead men because he doesn't have any way to deal with that, right? And he has a fighter who helps him, and he has a ranger who helps him, but he doesn't have anybody who can deal with undead. So he gets this ring, and that costs him an extra 10 points. And then we reach the end of their stay at Jeff's home, and at this point, Erosarn says, "Jeffs, thank you so much for your hospitality. Doulos, thank you so much for your hospitality. I am extremely upset to be leaving Oe. Your direwolf, I have a great relationship with him over the last 2 days, and he obviously loves me. And I'm really sorry, but at this point, I have to go to Mount Hope now, and meet Forge Lord Shram. So." And so, bye. Arizon's like, bye, Doulos, bye, bye, Farrowin, bye, Grax, bye, Parax. See you guys later. Doulos. So let me teach you a lesson if you're a dungeon master. Okay, so how to not get player characters to engage with, the main storylines. Hey, I'm a non-player character desperately in need of your help. If you don't help me, the whole world will crack in half. And players will be, and your Dragon Master will be like, bye, could not care less. But you know what is super attractive to them? Non-player characters who go, hey, I have this quest to go do without you. Bye, don't follow. And your Gold Dragon Master's like, I'm telling her right away that I will be assisting her because it's extremely dangerous in the Neverwinter Forest, and she is right. There are all kinds of terrible things that will be found in the Neverwinter Forest. She should definitely not go on her own. I will be going with her. And Pharaoh and my brother super excited about that, and my direwolf companion Oe is super excited about that. She does not want us to go and has told us it's too dangerous and that we should not come with her. And so we absolutely have to go with her, which I thought was like, it is so like, oh yeah, you're just like, okay, I get it. Right. Okay. But it was very, and one thing that I absolutely loved is it is just Dungeons and Dragons, right? Like they have this quest. So we're in Neverwinter. We need to find a cleric to finish this quest, right? Then one non-player character shows up on the deck of one ship, and the entire storyline goes in a different direction. And that is really fascinating, right? So now, of course, I am like a lot of other Dungeon Masters where things will circle back. Like this war in Phandalin is, at this point, becoming inescapable because it is this, just like in our own real world where we have these, wars that break out and people are like, oh, that doesn't have anything to do with us. And you're like, are you paying attention? That has everything to do with us, right? Like in America, like doesn't matter if you're halfway across the world. That's our beef, right? Like, and so, I thought this was really fascinating. So at this point, Erosarn says, I got to go, yeet, bye. And they're like, hey, Neverwinter Forest is wicked dangerous and you definitely need an escort and we will go with you, right? And so they go with her. And so they go to, Erosarn and Doulos' whole crew, right, go to the gates of Neverwinter, and it's 10 gold per person to leave the city, right? And and all the guards immediately waive that for Erosarn because she has super high performance and persuasion, and she's just, she has a presence, right? And so they're like, well, but then they're like, my lady, you definitely cannot leave the city right now, and the reason why is, you're going into the Neverwinter Forest. I don't know if you know this, but there's been a green dragon that has lived there forever, but that green dragon has not been active. It is active now. The woodcutters are reporting to the city that the green dragon is hecka active, eating cows, has already eaten some people, some woodcutters. Do not go into the forest. The green dragon is there, and it is hyper dangerous, right? And so at this point, Erosarn's like, That's great. Thanks for the warning. Appreciate it. But my father tasked me with meeting with Forge Lord Shram. So, dragging her, no, I'm going. Right? And then and then catnip to every, Dragon Master to get their player character completely engaged. She's like, hey, you guys, Green Dragon out there, you totally will die. You should remain here in the city. Thanks so much for all your help. Bye! And they're immediately like, we have to go with you now. We super have to go. It's like, now that there's a green dragon and it's almost certainly that we'll all die, we're totally with you. Like, it's the exact opposite of what you expect, right? But they're like, hey, we're ready. Now to Dolos's, to the Golden Dragon Master's credit, he was like, oh, I really don't want to do this. I think this could be hecka dangerous. And he was hecka right. And that's what you will hear in the next field report for Arbor Adventures. And this was oh my gosh, this was the end of session 9. And get this, we played 9 sessions in 1 month. That is unbelievable. From August 7th, no, from July 7th to August 7th, we played 9 sessions, right? And the reason why we're able to do that is Crown and Skull. It moves so fast. It is phenomenal. But this whole thing is grounded in the Dungeons & Dragons lore, and I was just blown away with how well this is going. I am very thankful for being able to chronicle this for you. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion on the best parts of Arbor Adventure. Nothing more, nothing less. What's important is when I hear your opinion on Arbor Adventures, on Crown and Skull, and on Dungeons & Dragons. Please, when you get in the comments and send your traffic, please consider liking and subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.